Okay. Good evening. I would like to call to order the school committee meeting of September 7th, 2021. I would take a motion to open the meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Amanda.
Second.
Second by Trista. All in favor?
Aye.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence. Thank you. As always, I'd like to thank EBCAM for their time and energy in making sure that our meetings are broadcast to the public. Thank you, EBCAM. And first on the agenda tonight is a report from our EBJ Junior Senior High School Student Advisory Council representative. Ms. Schrader, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
All right. So to start, the homecoming bonfire and the freshman dinner are in the works. We don't have any dates set right now, but keep you posted on that. Fall sports and all the clubs are starting up. Seems to be going really well. Lots of interest in clubs and all of those things. Pre-K starts tomorrow. Class meetings with Mr. Clements and Mr. Taylor will start next week, starting with the 7th and 8th grade and then high school later in the week. Teachers and staff are getting ready for the summer reading Overcoming Adversity event on the 17th. Shout out to Dr. Williams for all her hard work on preparing that. Lastly, thanks to the few extra minutes at lunch we've all noticed, we could finish all our lunch. That's been a good change this year. We've all noticed it. We appreciate it. And that's all I have.
Thank you. So we're hoping for a bonfire, everyone allowed to be there, full attended events. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Another little thing to get back to normal
Yeah,
this
it's
year.
usually fun.
That'd be great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Superintendent's Corner.
Thank you. The opening of schools, I can't tell you how well they have gone. For a couple glitches in maybe our transportation, but if you continue to look at the transportation list and the updated list every day, some things have been changing. We're getting to people a little bit quicker than we ever have. Joanne Benner, John Shea, and the secretaries at each school have done a terrific job getting the issues out in plain sight, and we're getting buses and rides to school on time. We're probably right now at the central school. I think we're maybe 8 minutes behind. We were 12 on the first day, 10 on the second day. We're about 8 minutes right now. Tomorrow is one of our favorite days of the year. I leave right after the buses come in because it's one of my worst days of the year watching kindergarten. I love having them come in, and I love watching them get off the buses and come in, but it's tough for me when they want to turn around and go see their moms back in their car or get back on the bus and go home. But kindergarten and pre-K start tomorrow, so we just ask everybody to give us a little bit extra time on the buses. We do stop at each kindergartner's home. They get door to door. When they're picked up, we just ask everybody to just stay calm. We're going to come probably a little bit late tomorrow, but we will be there, and we'll be picking up students. People need to remember when we put kindergartners on the bus, sometimes that goes a little bit slower than anticipated for any dad or mom out there putting their child on for kindergarten. So we just ask that people be, just understand that this is a big day for a lot of kids, about 165 kids. So we're excited. Our pre-K starts tomorrow as well. So there'll be a lot of activity out in the back parking lot. We ask that, and the students know not to park out in the back parking lot, and our teachers know that they should be parking out in the front. That's a great drop-off zone for us for pre-K and some of the vans that come in that area. The sports, we've got about 275 students who have signed up to play, and they're out there, which is terrific to see. It's nice to have the activity. I saw the kids out running today. It's girls soccer, boys soccer, football's going on. We've got a team going over to Nantucket this weekend. Girls field hockey will be getting on the ferry, I think at 8:30 in the morning, and going over to play Nantucket. There's a lot of field hockey teams. We don't have a lot, so you've got to find teams. And so we're going out to Nantucket, and I think that's a great experience for our students, and it's a great experience for the program. So they'll be leaving on Saturday morning. Vaccination update, we're doing terrific on this. We have 233 staff, faculty and staff that are fully vaccinated. We have 6 that are not, and we have 1 that is partially or had their first shot. We are working on that. I'm still getting, each day we're getting more and more people to do the survey. We'll give one more last call on Friday, and then after that, we will, Barbara will send an email to each person that has not given us the information, but they'll get a direct line from Barbara Polisi and then a direct line back, because we need to know that information. Karen and I did, Karen Clifford, our COVID officer, did speak today. We are going to be sending a survey out to parents. It'll be optional for the name of the student, but we're just asking for the grade and the age of the student, and it'll be optional if you want to give the name of the student, if they have been vaccinated or not, just so that we have that information to report to our Department of Health and to DESE. The commissioner did send out a note today that, and I think that I forwarded, I'm not sure if I forwarded it to you or not, the principals. Remote is not an option at this time. It won't be an option. He believes, and so do we as superintendents, I'm sure the principals all across the state believe, the kids are doing a terrific job, the staff is doing a great job, the protocols are in place. I think this is almost like old hat. Kids have come in. They don't want to wear the masks, I'm sure. I see them right when I get to the doors. They're putting them on the way in, and when they're leaving, they're taking them right off at the doors. But I've been at Mitchell School, I've been at Central School a lot, I've been at the high school a lot. Teachers are more ingrained about going outside and doing some activities outside right now. It's nice. When I came in this morning, there had to have been at least 75 kids out on the tennis courts outside playing, kids on the track, kids with soccer. So I think we've got this, and we're doing well. As we sent out this afternoon from the COVID officer, we did have an exposure, not in the school district, was out. The student is absent. We have spoken to the parents. We have started the protocol of test and stay. The students that we tested were negative. We're in good space with that. We've talked to each of the parents. I can tell you through Karen and our nurses that the parents were elated that we were staying with the protocols. They were happy. The students were fine. The nurses did what we've done all year long. And just, again, to reiterate, if you don't hear from Karen Clifford, then you're not part of the group or in that classroom. Other than that, we're doing all right. And I want to thank the parents for supporting the policy and the protocols. I want to thank the staff, faculty, and students for doing what we need to do to get through this. We're at 71% of faculty and staff, but we need 80% through DESE. I mean, it's up to you whether we go in that direction or not, but we're into DESE at this time on October 1st. We need 80% of faculty, staff, and student body to be at 80% if we do want to take the masks off.
Is that by school? Sorry, is that,
Sorry.
that's by school, not district, right? Yeah,
The
okay.
district, yep. It's the schools.
Yeah,
Now,
High school.
High
yeah,
school.
by school, yeah.
so you mentioned sending them a survey. I could have sworn I saw somewhere, maybe you were the one who pointed it out to me, that there is a database somewhere of those that are not vaccinated that the state's keeping.
The Bridgewater nurse knows, because I talked to her, and she said she gets all the state information.
Right, so there is state information on that, right? So why do we need the survey then?
Because we would do it for our school district. Because
Oh, it's
there's-
only for East Bridgewater kids, not for
yeah.
the...
And we want our own information,
Gotcha,
you
Well,
know.
that, the nurse probably can't because of HIPAA. She can't.
Exactly.
gotcha.
That's why I said our names would be optional for
Right.
for the school district.
Right, I didn't know if the nurse could at least just give you a percentage, though. Like, you don't need to know specific names, but could she say 74%, 78%, or...
Yeah, the local board of health can do that, but reminder, not every 15-year-old or not every 12-year-old goes to school in the district of
Right,
East
right.
Bridgewater. We do have collaborative.
Right.
We do, yeah.
But in the documentation Tim's talking about, it said that an authorized school nurse or something like that, I can pull it up for you if you want, should have access to the state database that has vaccination records in
Yeah,
it.
I have that. I
Okay.
received that, and I have the number of East Bridgewater, and it says the students, and I think we were high. And we're doing pretty well. I think one was, 49%, and then we have that,
Okay,
but we also want our own data. We want it from the school district, and we're gonna send it out. Because some people don't always take the survey and don't do the data.
right,
So, and I know I have that, I got that mailing as well.
Okay.
So, but I know what you're talking about. I just feel it's good for us. I think other districts are gonna start doing it. We just wanna get a poll of where we're at. The state database, I mean, I think it's great, but I would like to see if we're close, if people are, if it's the same.
Are you on this survey, and can you ask if folks are planning on getting vaccinated? Like, would that be a question that might be on there as well? I don't know.
We can.
Yeah.
That's why names are optional. We could ask.
Not yet 12,
Yeah.
I mean, if a parent says that their child is vaccinated in the survey, are they gonna be required to provide proof of vaccination? Because otherwise, I mean, everybody could just say, yeah, my kid's vaccinated, and then we go on that, and it ends up not
Right.
being.
Well, I'm going to continue, I have that, I know the sheet that I received that. So I went through it and, we'll compare our data to that. I got to find out how far we can go
Right.
and ask the questions. For an employee of this district, I can ask. And I can ask for proof of invalidation for that. For a child, that's why we're going to the parent, and it'll go throughout the district, and we'll say it's optional. Do you plan on? Probably from 6th grade up.
Right.
At this
I don't
time.
believe we can ask for proof of vaccination at the school level.
I'm sorry?
I don't believe we can actually ask for student proof of vaccination. at the
ask for
school.
it, but they can't
Well,
require
require, sorry,
Right,
require.
yeah.
Right.
'Cause it's, I mean, if you're saying that, yes, my kid is, yeah.
So those are questions I usually put past our attorneys anyways, just to say, how far can I go with this question? With the faculty and staff, we knew that we could, and that's why we asked for it. And I spoke to the attorneys today, and he said that we're doing, compared to some of the other towns and cities he has, we're doing very, very well across the board and getting the survey information in. And I asked him if I could send individual letters once we get, to this Friday. He said absolutely, as long as, it's only Barbara doing it, it's not me, so Barbara will take care of it probably next Tuesday or Wednesday, so.
Can I just ask one more question? Sorry. Whatever that threshold is, and this may also still be evolving, but what do we report that to DESE by October 1st?
Yep.
And which then would we report? Like the list of students with that just aggregate number that we know from the state database?
Yeah, they'll compare it, I mean, they take everything into consideration. I will say that I surveyed the faculty and staff, this is what I received back, I'm supposed to give that information by October 1st.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell them I surveyed our students from grade 6, 12 going, ages 12 going to 13, and through my senior class.
Yeah.
I will send my data, they'll compare it to the data that they have from the state. They'll say, East Bridgewater, and they'll come back with some type of aggregate number.
Yeah.
Because I could say, hey, we're at 84%. And they say, well, you're really at 81%, and say, okay. And then it comes back to you as a local school committee. If you decide, DESE's policy is, hey, is it 80%? And if other schools say, we're going to take the masks off, that's up to, that's up to you. You can still say, I think we're better off keeping the masks on. You can certainly go against that. We've always stayed with the DESE protocol. We stayed with it last year, we did well with it. We're staying with it right now, we're doing well with it. And so then it would be up to the board.
That's if there's still their feeling for October 1st.
That's what I'm saying.
That could change too.
You could,
Okay.
Yeah.
had a great, I was watching the 6 o'clock news because I knew that they were going to do Channel 7 tonight. I think it was Channel 7 was doing a report on public schools in the Commonwealth and about sports, that the kids are so excited that things are coming back to normalcy. And they're starting to see normalcy. And even one of the coaches and a teacher from a district said, it feels good. We're going to make this. Kids want to get back and to get back to normal, and so do adults in the schools. So I think people are pushing for it. Karen, we talked today, it seems that people want to get back. We're not seeing a push that we don't, so, which is nice. Any other questions on COVID? You have the new hires and the resignations and the fall coaching appointments in your, I usually do, I just announce the new faculty. Nicole Aldridge, grade 4, Mitchell School. Yvonne Fitzgerald, ELA teacher. Daniel Scott, grade 8, social studies teacher. Christopher Spagone, art teacher at the high school. New instructional support assistants, Elizabeth Amaral, East Bridgewater Junior Senior High School. Gabrielle Boutine from Central School. Kimberly Eldridge, East Bridgewater Junior Senior High School. Mackenzie Eldridge, Central School. Kaylin LeBlanc, East Bridgewater Junior Senior High School. Corrine Mullen, Central School. Margaret Redmond, Gordon W. Mitchell School. And Madison Shaw, Central School. Faculty and staff resignations, Benjamin Healy, grade 8, social studies. Kelly Pontian, ISA, and Lucy Villegas, school nurse, effective on this Friday. Fall coaches, Alex Carey, assistant boys soccer coach. Mitch Daly, assistant football coach. Don Davison, assistant football coach. Ryan Eaton, assistant football coach. Tim Graham, head football coach. Erica Grondine, fall cheerleading coach. Patrick Horgan, head boys soccer coach. Andy Looney, assistant girls soccer coach. Andrew McDonald, head girls volleyball coach. George McCabe, head boys cross country coach. Michelle Mullen, head field hockey coach. Serena Nugent, assistant field hockey coach. Connor Pedro, assistant boys soccer coach. Travis Pickless, head girls cross country coach. Mike Smith, assistant football coach. Scott Sullivan, head girls soccer coach. And Charles Woodman, golf coach.
Thank you. Anything else?
Can I just say something? Sure. In the transportation update, for kindergarten, we try to get the stops close to the home if possible, but it's not door to door.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think when we used to have half-day kindergarten, and there was that mid-afternoon, and it was only kindergartners on, that's when kindergartners had door-to-door, but now they're community stops because they're full-day with
Well, we're pretty
grades 1 and
close.
2.
We are close. We try to be close.
John, I said it before the meeting, but I'll say it for everyone to hear. I mean, you know, people like to complain about buses, but I don't think they have any idea how complicated it is to put together bus routes. And, you know, you guys did a great job again this year. And any snafus, I'm sure, will be worked out over the next week or two.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're still working out some issues, but I think we've got a good handle on it so far.
I don't envy you, so thank you.
We've gotten some good pictures of bus stops. We're working on them.
All right. All right, reports and discussions. You have in front of you an addendum to the East Bridgewater Junior Senior High School Parent Handbook related to masks in school and the enforcement thereof. Any comment
Yeah,
to
I'll
that?
take that.
Sure.
Because we did have our attorneys vet this.
Yep.
We do not want to be a disciplined, hard-nosed school district. We want to change culture and climate. We want to change behavior in a direction of positive reinforcement. There are some districts, yes, there are some districts that are close by and in the Commonwealth who have said that this is insubordination if you don't take your mask off, you're not wearing it, and it's an immediate one-day suspension. We don't want to do that. We haven't had any reason to do so at this time. We've asked people to pull it up. They've pulled it up. We are a progressive discipline model. We are progressive discipline if it is staff. We're progressive discipline if it's, and if it's a child. There's a warning, there's a conversation. We have areas in the building that can be certainly more than 6 feet if we needed to put a child there. Sending a child home because they're not wearing a mask, we believe, and I have sat with the high school principal, and this is only at the junior senior high school, this is where we needed to have this for DESI, that they believe that the junior senior high school students are really, they're acting very mature, and they really want to be here, and that they know that this is a policy and a protocol, and that they're going to do whatever they can to be here. The teachers, I think, see that and are trying to get outside more, or, you know, and I know phys ed has been out a lot in the gym, so, and that's great. And I've seen the band outside, I've seen them practicing, and even choir I think I saw out there the other day. So this would be a progressive discipline model, and it would be that we would move the, if the child says, no, I'm not doing it, and is defiant towards the policy, the first time, it could be brought to the in-school support center, it could be brought to the library, and put away from a child, and have a conversation. The second time, maybe the same thing, have this conversation. We've got to find out, is the child being anxious with the mask on? Is there a reason what's going on? And can we have a conversation with the parent? As we get forward and the principal thinks there's no turnaround, then we will go into a deeper, it could be, come and pick up your child. And that child will have access to Edgenuity and all the other programs that we do have, but we don't want to start there. We want students to know we get it. Not everybody has a great day all the time. You know, let's turn this around and be positive and let's get back in. So we did go through this, and that's why we have a progressive discipline model instead of just saying it's in subordination towards the mask policy that we have in place. We want kids, I think that, and I do feel that this will be, I think our kids are recognizing that we have a behavioral program in the building. They have people to reach out to. We have adjustment counselors walking around now. We have 5 brand-new guidance counselors walking around, 2 men. We've never had men in the guidance department as long as I have been here, so the feeling is a little different. We've got some guys that young men can talk to if they need, and I think they're helping in the mornings. They're outside, they're walking around. You know, when I come in, I've seen them walking around. They've got lists in their hands, making sure that kids, if they're lost, are knowing where they're going. So I think that people are in the right direction. I think we've got good leadership here at the junior, senior high school. I think the kids, I mean, I'd ask you, do you feel everybody is
Yeah, I do.
complying with the masks?
I do,
mean, I haven't
yeah.
seen, but you would know. I'm not out in the hallways all the time.
No, I feel like everyone who's here really wants to be here, and they're going to do everything they can to stay in school, and they don't want what happened last year to happen again, so.
And I think that's the thought and the feeling.
So Liz, you may not be able to address this completely, but hypothetically and understanding, I mean, I do think that all the kids want to be here, and they realize what they lost, you know, over the last 18 months. Should there be a case of noncompliance that rises to the level of someone needing to be sent home? What if, and I don't expect this would happen, but I always think sometimes in hypotheticals, it continued, that would more or less create a remote learning situation, potentially? Like, has that been thought of? Like, should something rise to that level? I would hope it wouldn't.
We feel we have we feel we have the space to contain a student in a suspendable situation here in the building so that they would still get their required work. If we would suspend out, it takes 10 days for a child to be suspended out of school for them to have a hearing with me. And then go on, and if we would have to go in that route. I would hope that parents would understand that we have to be held accountable through our organization and through the Department of Education, through the policy of the school committee, that we're not doing it just to put kids in masks. And I think parents have seen that. I think parents are back to, I think a lot of parents went back to work as well. I know that when Karen said that she spoke to parents today, all of them were, thank you, good, I'm glad. Did he make it through, you know, the test? Yes, he's fine. Great, okay. You know, people thought, you know, it's 7 days. Well, tomorrow's day 5 of this because we went through a weekend and we, you know, we count back to 48 hours prior and all this, so it's only, you know, you have today and then tomorrow. So I think we're,
Yes, so, but if it should, like I said, which I don't,
Yeah.
I can't anticipate that it would, just based on
We would
knowing,
have to-
it would follow the regular suspension protocol where it would be
absolutely.
the 10 days.
Once it gets to 10 days, and then
Okay.
we would,
So no education would be being
Right.
provided to that student if they're suspended?
And that's important for, I think, for parents to hear, right? That it wouldn't just be you're being sent home for a day and then you can come back. It's a full 10-day non-learning suspension environment.
yes.
All right, take a motion to pass the addendum to the student parent handbook. Moved by Ellen,
Second.
second by Amanda, all in favor?
Aye.
You have in your packet school committee operating protocols, which we review and pass annually every September. For our new members, this is something that is a ongoing protocol for the school committee. We agreed upon these years ago. Hopefully you had a chance to kind of review them in your materials. Are there any questions about these protocols? Okay. Take a motion to pass the school committee operating protocols for the 2021-2022 school year. Moved by Ellen,
Second.
second by Amanda, all in favor? Aye. And I'll have this, there is a signature page for the protocols for all of us before we leave today. It'll be up here. Public comment. Public comment public comment period is not an open forum. Speakers may address topics on the agenda, items specified for public comment, or items within the scope of the school committee's responsibility. Do we have anyone here for public comment tonight? Okay. You have in front of you, I'm sorry, take a motion to approve accounts payable warrant 11 SV dated 9/8/2021.
So moved.
Moved by Ellen,
Second.
second by Amanda, all in favor? Aye. Take a motion to approve payroll warrant 10 PS dated 9/1/2021.
So moved.
Moved by Ellen,
Second.
second by Amanda, all in favor? Aye. Superintendent, anything else?
Yeah, Joanne, we needed to sign the, Barbara give you? Yes. Okay, did we get it signed? The BISA contract?
Already signed it.
I just want to make sure, because I was told to ask.
Take a motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
Moved by Amanda. Second by Scott, all in favor? Aye. Have a good night, everyone.